turning 2D images into 3D assets used to mean hours of manual modeling, or owning a machine powerful enough to run heavy pipelines without crashing. In this video, I show how I did it in minutes using Mesh v6 workflow, and the result surprised me. No local install, no GPU upgrade, no setup, just upload your image, run the workflow, and get the 3D mesh back in your browser. I also break down the quality, the limitation, and what it actually costs so you know exactly what you are getting into before you try it. This 3D model started as a single image. I did not rebuild it manually, and I did not run the generation on a high-end GPU in my own computer. I used a browser-based ComfyUI workflow on Floyo to turn the reference into a textured 3D asset. In this video, I will show you the complete process, inspect the result as a professional 3D artist, and explain where a cloud workflow like this makes sense, especially when your machine has limited VRAM, just like mine. But before we begin, this video is sponsored by Floyo. They've provided access so I could test the platform and this exact image to 3D workflow. As always, I will show you the real process and give you my honest opinion about both the useful parts and the limitations. I like ComfyUI because it gives you much more control than a simple one-button generator. The problem is that some of the most interesting workflows requires large models, a lot of VRAM, multiple custom nodes, and sometimes a frustrating amount of setup. My laptop GPU has only 4 GB of VRAM, so a workflow like this can be difficult or completely impractical to run locally. Even when the hardware is powerful enough, you may still have to download large model files, match the correct dependencies, install custom nodes, and solve version conflicts before you can create anything. That is the main problem Floyo is trying to remove. Floyo brings the full ComfyUI workflow experience into the browser. Instead of preparing the local environment yourself, you can open a ready-made workflow, inspect and edit the nodes, upload your own input, and run it on Floyo's cloud hardware. Floyo currently lists NVIDIA H100 NVL GPUs with 94 GB of VRAM for workflow generation. It also says that editing, building, loading, and idle time are free. Floyo time is consumed while the GPU is actively generating. That means you can take your time understanding the graph and changing settings without paying for every minute that the browser is open. For this demonstration, I'm using the image to 3D workflow linked in the description. It is a complete image to 3D graph rather than a separate simplified interface. The input image is prepared. The subject can be isolated and centered, generates the mesh, and the later stages handle multi-view processing, UV and texture work, previewing, and mesh export. The important point is that we can still see and modify the workflow instead of sending the image into a black box. The source image matters more than almost any other setting. I'm choosing a reference with one clear subject, readable proportions, minimal overlap, and enough visible information for the model to infer the form. This workflow accepts JPEG or PNG, and its preparation stage can remove the background and center the subject. According to the workflow notes, no text prompt is required for this version. You can try a different seed if the result is weak, but the quality and clarity of the input image remains the biggest factor. Now I can run the workflow. Follow time measures the GPU generation time used by the workflow. Floyo says there is no fixed time cap on an individual run, so a longer graph can continue until it completes as long as the account has enough flow time. Before running any shared workflow, I also recommend checking whether it contains a Floyo partner node. Those nodes display a separate per run price directly on the node. Always confirm this on the live workflow before running it, because workflows can be updated. While this is processing, this is where the platform is most useful for me. The demanding computation happens on Floyo's hardware rather than on my 4 GB laptop GPU. I can use a workflow that would otherwise require a major hardware upgrade, and I do not have to keep large model files and every dependency installed locally. This does not mean the cloud generation is automatically the best or cheapest choice for every person. Someone running workflows continuously may prefer local hardware. But for artists with limited VRAM, occasional users, or anyone who wants to test a demanding pipeline before investing in hardware, access like this can be extremely practical. The workflow has finished, so let us inspect the result rather than judging it from one flattering angle. From the front, the main silhouette has been captured well, and the texture gives us an immediately readable asset. The side and back views are more important because the source image did not fully describe those areas. Here, the model had to invent information. I'm checking for stretch textures, soft or merge details, thin surfaces, holes, asymmetry, and shapes that may not make sense from another angle. For rapid concepting, blockouts, background assets, pre-visualization, or a base for further sculpting, this can save a lot of time. For a hero character or a production asset, I would still expect cleanup, retopology, UV checks, material adjustments, and possibly manual remodeling. The value is a speed and a strong starting point, not the elimination of professional 3D work. I'm exporting the generated mesh and bringing it into the Blender because the final test is whether the asset can enter a normal 3D workflow. The first things I check are scale, orientation, material assignment, texture path, face normals, mesh density, and whether any disconnected pieces or non-manifold areas need attention. This result is useful enough to continue working from, but I would treat it as generated source material. Depending on the final purpose, I may sculpt over it, rebuild important areas, retopologize it, prepare new UVs, or simply use it as a fast background asset. The right amount of cleanup depends completely on the shot and the production standard. A major advantage of keeping this inside a ComfyUI graph is that I can iterate rather than accepting one result. The workflow notes suggest trying a different seed when the first generation is not ideal, although improving the input image usually has a bigger effect. I can also preserve the working graph, revisit earlier runs, and compare versions without rebuilding the pipeline from scratch. This is much closer to a repeatable production experiment than a one-off generation button. Floyo also supports partner nodes, and this is important to understand before running other workflows. Partner nodes connect to closed source models from external providers without requiring you to create a separate account or manage a different API key for each provider. The price is set by the model provider and is displayed on the node before you run it. That charge comes from a separate partner node wallet. If a workflow includes one of those nodes, you may use Flowtime for the Floyo GPU processing and also pay the partner nodes per run cost when that node executes. If there is no partner node in the graph, the workflow uses Flowtime only. I like that the cost is visible directly on the node, but you should always check it before starting a large batch. Floyo currently has a free trial and several paid plan levels, with different amounts of included flow time, storage, and concurrent runs. Extra Flex flow time is currently listed at $7 per GPU hour and can be added after the monthly allowance is used. Partner node credits remain separate because pricing can change. I recommend checking the current pricing page through the link in the description rather than relying on numbers from an older video. The most important question is how often you generate. Occasional access to a powerful GPU can be very convenient, while extremely heavy daily usage deserves a careful cost comparison with local hardware. My conclusion is straightforward. Floyo is most compelling when you want the flexibility of ComfyUI but do not want your local GPU, VRAM installation, or dependency setup to determine which workflows you can use. This 3D pipeline turned one reference image into a textured 3D asset that I could inspect, export, and continue editing in Blender. The result is not a replacement for clean production modeling, and frequent cloud generation still needs a realistic cost calculation. But as a rapid image to 3D starting point, especially on a modest machine, this is genuinely useful. You can try Floyo using the links in the description. This video was sponsored by Floyo. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you would like more practical AI and 3D workflow tests like this one.